Hey, what is shaking, sports fans? It's 11:10 in the morning, Saturday, February 26th here in Greenwood, Arkansas. Cloudy, overcast skies. It's about freezing my ass off out there. It may be like 35 degrees or whatever. It's not that cold, but man, I sure feel cold, and that's what matters. So, anyway, here's today's sales, man. Real slow day, not a big deal. First thing going out is this 94 Finest Howie Long. And there's not really much to this other than, it's 94 Finest. And that's what it is. I had this listed as a single card for, they believe it or not, they comped out for right around $2.50. So that's where I had it, never sold, turned it to auction. It sold for 99 cents. I'm looking at it now. And here's the crazy thing about these 94 Finest. It was, if I remember right, it was really brand new in the refractor. And it was like an introductory set for what's now kind of like the modern refractor. And man, it didn't say, there for a while, Topps was good about putting a refractor note, but there's nothing that identifies those. And you catch it in just the right light, and this is the base, but like I said, you catch it in just the right light. It damn near, they all look like refractors, and I remember back in 94, 95, it was kind of tough, and it's still kind of tough. It takes a real good skills with a camera to be able to capture the refractors. What I learned in using them in the light box, because I've had several of these. This is one of my favorite all-time sets. I actually have a full set that I'll just keep in a box heading my way. So that's that. Got this Walter Payton CSG 4 from 1978 Topps. This is all pro. And, I got a pretty good deal. There's a bad corner there, I got a good deal on this. I think out the door when I bought it, it was probably $7.50, something like that, and total. And that's shipped to me, so under $10. I listed them. I tried like a multi-variation strategy. This is an area that I wanted to explore as far as low priced, low grade, older slabs. It can maybe considered vintage. I don't know, man. That's going to change to whatever anybody thinks is profitable. But for me, there's just a feeling there's going to be a glut of slabs, regardless of make or grader or whoever. There'll be a glut of slabs over the next few months, maybe possibly a year or so. And this is an area that is worth exploring, because there's going to be people that these move, like in less than 30 days, I bought a set of these. So it was a set for $15 plus shipping. I think it's out the door right around $20 overall. And so it's a break even. So there was revenue out of like $20. There's revenue in. Both of them sold at like, both of them generated revenue right around, if I look at the total, about $17. So, we put out 20, it generated 34 in return revenue. So that was kind of that was what was interesting about that. And also too, I have a lot of older cards, from this era, these type of cards exactly, and I wanted to see what constituted a 4, and so it served that purpose. So that's that on the card sales. Now I'm going to transition, and this is going to be a lengthy video, so I appreciate you sticking with us. If you do, if you don't, man, hey, I understand too. But I'm going to kind of talk about a scanning process. Had a couple good friends ask about it, so I want to take some time and explore that a little bit more for you guys. Okay, so I've got those cards shipped out, and I kind of transitioned into the scanning process. And what I wanted to kind of show you, guys and gals, was the amount of cards I was able to scan. So here's like an 800 count box right there, then a 400 count, then I had another 400 count, and then another 200 count. The reason why these are kind of broke down like that is it's either one or two teams or a mix of teams. I also had this other 800 lot pretty much filled, maybe except for right there. So that was completely filled, and I was able to scan all of those cards through the HP 2635. I don't know. Can I spin in there? Yeah, 2635. So, just a simple, home use scanner. There's pluses and minuses to that. Maybe we'll go into them, maybe we won't. But all in all, that's not a lot of cards. And, each of the cards are sleeved. What I used for the sleeves was the cardboard gold. And I picked these up from Columbia Hobby Supply. I bought 20,000 sleeves, man. I bought a couple cases right at about 116, 120 bucks, more or less. And man, I really, I've never used these until now, and I really like them. They seem to hold up well. They work well. They're pretty good for putting. One thing I like to do sometimes, storing the cards. If I've got the same card, I like to kind of slide them in there. I think it helps keep them. And here's just kind of some examples of some of the cards that as I was going through what I scanned. I need to scan that guy for sure. Some of the things that I was scanning them, and I pulled these out like, hey man, these are probably things that we can use as singles. So these can go up there as single listings. Here's a Camo, Refractor, Daryl Rivas. And a lot of these cards are coming out of that 2,000 card lot that we bought for $100. And then, so you do the math on that. And well, not like this one was a different lot, but a lot of those, 6 cents on a lot of those cards. So that's the singles, and I really haven't sorted through those other teams yet. I've got some Cowboys that I was getting ready to list. And kind of what I did is I went through the lot, and then just, as I went through there, I just started sleeving cards. And I was sleeving the cards and kind of collating them by player, maybe by make, maybe by model, just kind of really just trying to get them in sleeves so I could get them to the scanner table and let them go. Now, how that kind of changes, I don't think I could have done this many, I couldn't have processed that many cards through the light box, so that's a plus. And that's one of the reasons why, I'm big in favor of scanning. I couldn't have done this much volume in that amount of time with the light box. And then, so I've pulled up the actual app, the Chrono Card app. So each one of your scans, like, let me kind of zoom in there. So you get the front and the back. So I was able to get front and backs of all those cards in those times. Whereas with the light box, let me pull up another window here. And I pardon the lack of editing, just, I like to do these cuts, these video cuts. I like to do them live, kind of shoot from the hip and on the fly. So, there's some constraints there. So anyway, these are the light box pictures, right? And if you'll notice, so here's a run of light box pictures, and, the photo quality is not bad. Over time, it seemed like I learned a lot better how to use the light box for, paper cards, prismatic cards, chrome cards, et cetera, but the light box has that feel, and I could only get the fronts in that amount of time, right? So I was just going to the listing with the front image, right? And so I was like, man, I don't know if that's good or bad. Let me try to kind of get a view here. So I didn't know if that was good or bad. I knew that it could possibly, it wasn't going to be good for sales, just to have one image. I know when I'm selling single cards, I like to have the double image. So that was one constraint that I didn't like with the photo box, but I love the quality of the photo box. And then once I seen the Chrono Card app, right away I recognized that, and I was like, man, I've seen a shitload of eBay listings with this type of picture, and to be honest with you, I was always curious, how'd they get them like that? Well, now I know, and so what we're looking at here is, it inventories it for you. It's really, here's one thing, without trying to go off on a tangent, the organization on this is just fucking amazing. So on this tab, it shows you your collection, and it automatically routes it. Like, so you can select basketball, baseball, football, blah, blah, blah. And preloads that in groups of 50. This will give you your scanner. They'll send you messages. If you're doing any of the selling on this platform or using this as a third-party access to eBay, those are all applicable. This is your little AI thing, and we'll go into that a little bit later. But that's kind of how the interface looks. I guess maybe like the back end of your Chrono Card setup. So I'm going to pause this for a minute, kind of rearrange some things, and we'll go through the actual scanning process.